Alrighty.
Are you ready to go?
Yep. You two can start off.
Alrighty. Classic HD, we're playing all shortcuts plus Olmec. No, wait. Glitches. We've got glitches. This menu's broken because I went into help and options and then I exited it twice, which is a normal thing to do. And all you have to do is mash the exit button.
Happens
Speaking
pretty
of
often.
menuing bugs, we have the blackout glitch. Classic blackout glitch. You go down to the outside of help and options. You press confirm and cancel at the same time, and then your screen goes black. This is useful for the tutorial because normally you have no bombs and no ropes, but now you get 4 bombs and 4 ropes, and you can do all these lovely tutorial strats like bombing through the floor, classic speedrunner technology. But what's even better, we've got cool new tools made by various people. So we can just teleport, and I'm going to be doing that a lot just to show things off, spawn items in, that sort of thing.
Everything we do is going to be, for the most part, possible in vanilla Spelunky. The tools just help us do it expediently.
Oh, should I stream on Discord? Here, I'll let you sort it out. There we go. Speaking of specs, let's go to the ice caves. Alrighty, so you may remember, if I can spawn in the ghost. She's pretty terrifying, can't whip her, can't collide with her or do anything. Scary, terrifying ghost. There are 3 ways to damage the ghost, this evil, evil creature with 9,999 hit points. The first way is a UFO, and that does 1 damage. Good luck killing the ghost that way. Next way is lava, which does 99 damage. This is fine. It's been used in various runs over the years. But the best way is the abyss. You can just get really close to the abyss. I'm using this consistent setup by Spef, which you'll see after a stream delay. And it lets you get right up to the abyss, just enough to let the ghost dip into the abyss. Alrighty. Oh, you could take my audio via Twitch, right? We'll find out. Alrighty.
Hopefully.
In this level, I get to demonstrate that lava makes things bouncy. I bet you didn't know that. The golden key, typically not very bouncy, but once you dip it in lava, it's bouncy forever. I mean, not like forever. It doesn't last through from one level to the other, but it's kind of permanent. I don't know of any other way to make it not bouncy. This is because items are deleted and respawned when you go between levels. Alrighty, I get to show off co-op things. Let's see, what have we done? Menu glitch, blackout glitch, ghost kill, bouncy key. So we've got 2 co-op bugs, and these both revolve around the idea that a player that is currently being held doesn't update. So, this bunny's got the rock. We bring Kirby over here to pick up the bunny. And then we have the bunny drop the rock, and then the other bunny can pick it up. So now there's this little bit of data that gets stored between levels. Pardon me, I'm not very good at this game. I've never played Spelunky before. And this data stores, your health, your bombs, your ropes, and the item you're holding. So the trans bunny was holding a rock the last time it updated, but then it started getting held by Kirby, and now we have 2 rocks, because the Rainbow Bunny had the rock, and had the data saying it had a rock, and the bunny had the data saying it had a rock, even if it had no actual rock. I think we want to go to 2-1. I think this is convenient. Why does 2-1 not generate the same way twice? I'm literally playing seeded. Alright. This scene sucks. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. If we put this bunny down right here, it has 4 health in the actual bunny, and this data section here that stores how much health it should have between levels says that it has 1 health, as it should, but there is 1 frame where the physical bunny loses health, but it hasn't yet updated the between level data storage area. And if you pick up the bunny on exactly this frame, the physical bunny will always be in the dying state, but the storage between levels will be perfectly fine and ordinary and normal. This is not a great demonstration on account of dying. Also, why did the level change if I'm playing seeded? Alright, I want to show this off, but if I don't find a tiki trap, I'll just glitch it. Oh, this is 2-2. Sure, whatever. Okay, I did my best. I'll do it with Kirby. Just because. Oh, bye Kirby. Okay. We revive the bunny, and then in our hands, we make it lose health, and now it is dying on every frame. And you can get 99 bombs and ropes. If you're ever having trouble in co-op, always remember, you can kill your friends. And then if you drop the bunny dies. That's an unfortunate consequence, but that's okay. Let's get into this.
Alright, this is one of my favorite glitches here.
Yes.
So, everyone knows the classic eggplant run, hit Yama with an eggplant, and he's very allergic. He turns into an eggplant himself. But for reasons unknown, he gets a little camera shy when he's in this state. He really doesn't like it when you take pictures, so let's see what happens when we...
He's a camel and a mummy. Now, luckily he's only got 1 health, so he should be easy to dispatch. Because, he is still an eggplant, after all.
He's just also a mummy and a camel.
Yeah, I mean, he can be many things. He's a very complex sort of creature. I actually have no idea why that one happens, which I think is fun. So if we give ourselves an Ankh, no parachute, and 1 hit point, and a... we get to watch the credits play out completely normally. I love when the credits play out completely normally. Fun fact, this isn't just a video, it is actually the game engine playing the credits live for you, which I think is nice. It's a wonderful way to do things. And we are going to take a fall damage, but that's okay. It thinks ahead, it remembers to give us 2 health instead of 1. Since we have no parachute, we are going to be down to 1 health. But that's okay. I'm sure everything will be fine there, having 1 health. And then, oh, this lava man ran into us. Oh, we died? Oh, the game crashed? That's so weird. Alright, Babero, take it away.
Alright.
My apologies to our production crew here. You do.
Yeah. Let me know whenever we're up and running here. But for this next section, we've got a couple custom levels that we built ahead of time with lots of little setups for glitches that are kind of annoying to encounter in the wild, say. But if we set them all up ahead of time, then it's easy because it's all there.
This is good. There are only so many things that I can just hop around various levels to demonstrate.
Right. All right, are we ready?
Wonderful.
All right, so first thing we're going to do, I'm going to direct your attention to the top of the screen. There it was. Very quick glitch there. Let's take a look at it again. What you're seeing is a caveman and a scorpion clipping into the ground, and that's because they're landing on a ladder here, and it checks for tiles that it doesn't want them to clip in, but they end up clipping into the wall anyway because ladders are also tiles. So
This happens a lot. Like, not just from falling to standing, but like when enemies wake up in the City of Goldor or what have you.
So next up, we got these little gold pyramids, which give you 2250 gold, or you can whip them into 3 individual little coins that, when you collect all of them, also give you 2250 gold. So you can actually collect the entire pyramid and the 3 coins that spawn if you whip the pyramid and collect it on the same frame. So let's try and do that here. There we go. So you get double the money that way. So next up, we're going to check out this damsel in this TNT block. If you throw the damsel on top of the TNT block, no more TNT block. Don't know why that one happens, but that's a fun one to do. Here we have an arrow trap. As you can see, I can't quite jump high enough to activate it, but if I press jump twice really fast, then I get 2 jumps, and it boosts me up a little bit higher. So
This is because you have coyote frames when you leave a platform, even if you do so by jumping.
There we go. Next up, let's check out hired help. So this guy here, this is a hired help. I know he doesn't look like him, but trust me, this is just a normal vanilla hired help with glitchy graphics. Kirby can probably elaborate on that a little later, but for now, we're going to find a nice safe spot for him. And a good safe spot for hired help is by doing this. You can kind of just bounce them off of a movable block here. And even though it looks really dangerous with them wiggling around over this giant open pit, it's actually very safe. So we can leave them here while we do other stuff. So when you're carrying an item, it sort of hovers a set distance in front of you while you carry it. But if you get close to a wall, you'll notice it gets pushed further and further back, and that is to prevent it from clipping into the wall. This is the shield. It pushes stuff around. So we can take this hired help and give him the shield. What could possibly go wrong? Ooh, easy there, buddy. And so we're going to run into this wall here, and it's going to push the hired help back, which will push the shield back. And when the shield gets pushed far enough back, it will push me forward, which will push everything else forward, which will push me forward again. And it just creates this beautiful sort of infinite loop of forward velocity. So you can see I revived inside the Moai, and that's very important because it gives me the Hedgit. And the fact that the Hedgit is inside of the Moai is a bit of a problem. Because if you want to take an item with you, say a eggplant, this Moai was built to be destructible. You can bomb it, you can matic it, nothing really works. We're going to bomb this altar right here, we'll come back to that later. But one way to smuggle the eggplant into the Moai is by picking it up while you're frozen. Which ordinarily is kind of hard to do because you can't pick stuff up in midair on account of the fact that you're not ducking. You need to be crouched in order to pick things up, otherwise you just whip. So one easy way to do that is by teetering on a ladder, ducking, and then crawling off the edge. There you go, crawling in midair. And while you're in this state, you can actually clip into ceilings, and you can even climb around inside of the ceiling if you have climbing gloves. So that's pretty fun. Anyway, back to the task at hand. We're going to try to get frozen, pick up the eggplant on the way down, and then die in the ice with the eggplant. And if we did it right, the eggplant should warp to us in the Moai. So, very nice. All as planned. So, we're going to go back in this level for a second. That's sort of the newer way of doing things. It's more consistent to get a mammoth in a level than it is an altar, but the old way was you would hope for an altar, and we're going to blow it up here. The first time, Kali got angry that we blew up her altar. This time, Kali's going to get really angry and give us this slow, cumbersome ball and chain that makes everything difficult. But one thing it also does is it cuts through terrain, including the Moai, because when they were making it indestructible, they just kind of forgot to make it immune to the Punish Ball. So if you get the Punish Ball, you can just cut through it and leave with the eggplant through there. Easy as that. I'm going to get rid of... Oh, let's trigger that guy. Still don't know why that guy spawns. That guy's not supposed to spawn there. So we're going to drop that into the Abyss because everything despawns if you go into the Abyss, as you saw with the Ghost earlier. Let's get lots of health. So here's some big piles of nectar. I have 99 health. Let's go over 99 health. It doesn't look like I went over 99 health, but you can. It just doesn't visually update. So you can show this off by taking spikes, which deal 99 points of health, and surviving a jump onto them. Very neat. All right. So last thing for this room, if you try and exit a level while an elevator pushes you out of the way, you get pushed into this weird shadow state where you're kind of in limbo. You can see I'm behind the rope, behind the spikes, all that. And this was actually very recently discovered. You can actually just keep on doing this. We found out that you could go on and on while we were preparing for this glitch exhibition. So soon here, I'm going to be so small that I'm going to enter negative size, which means I will be showing up as upside down, and I will now be getting bigger instead of smaller. And you can do some really weird stuff while you're in this state. You get some really weird interactions. The ghost is going to be spawning in just a minute, but we don't actually have to be too worried about her anymore, because as you can see, when you're negative enough, you just don't interact with her. You know what else you don't interact with? Basically anything, like walls. So here's another great new way through the Moai if you can figure out how to pick up the eggplant. You can go through... Can you... I didn't... Apparently you can interact with push blocks. I didn't know that.
You can. The powder keg and the arrow trap, too. Things which are fake blocks you do still interact with, which is weird since you don't have collision with, like, enemies.
Yeah, you can blow that up, activate the arrow trap, all that jazz. Go straight through the bedrock, and we'll see if we can get a teleport in. There we go. Yep, if you go far enough out of bounds, sometimes you just teleport. Still haven't figured out what's going on there, but very amusing. Anyway, I think that is about good for this room. Let's move on over to Olmec. So the way Olmec works is if you are underneath of him, he will do a stomp, and when he does that stomp, he will destroy everything underneath of him. Unless he lands on this very specific pixel right here. So he's trying his hardest, he can't stomp down to me. And I can even destroy this tile here, and he will get stuck on the same horizontal pixel. You can keep doing this all the way down, which is great, because you can have funny interactions like this. And as long as you keep ducking, he will just never be able to crush you. So we're going to let Olmec live for now. We got more uses for him later. Let's set up some action down here with the Hell Door. Oh, gotta be careful. I don't have climbing gloves anymore. But as you can see, this Hell Door is sealed shut, Remember that for later. No way in it currently. We're also going to drop this jetpack down in here. Remember that for later. Setting up all sorts of stuff here. But first we got to talk about push blocks. These things are weird. They don't like being not lined up with the grid. So let's not line them up with the grid. If we push these on top of each other like this and sort of line it up so it's not quite grid aligned, you can see how if you push it all the way to the edge, it's actually kind of floating there. In fact, if you push it a little further, you can see how it's really floating there. Actually, you can just go ahead and push this block all the way out from under it. It really doesn't make a difference. It still thinks that these blocks are on top of it. In fact, you can even destroy this block, and it still thinks that these blocks are sitting on something. I don't really know. You can do whatever you want. The blocks will just keep floating there until you mess with one of them. Either separate the two blocks or destroy one, which will turn the gravity back on for both of them. So that's a fun one. Let's get rid of this wall here. And I think Olmec's all nice and set up here. This next glitch is a big one. It was discovered a little over a year ago by River Run, and it cracks open a lot of potential for this game. So we are going to drop these push blocks into the lava here. And remember when I said Olmec destroys anything under him when he stomps? I meant he destroys anything under him. That was the Hell Door. And now, as you'll be able to see pretty clearly here, when he moves out of the way, the door to hell is open now. I could go in it. But we're not going to. We got one more glitch to show off in this room. And if you look down all the way at the bottom of the screen here, you can see that that's not bedrock at the bottom of Olmec's pit. That is terrain. And terrain can be destroyed, say by blowing it up. So you remember that jetpack we put down there? Well, Olmec just crushed it and put a hole in the bottom of his arena, thus draining out all the lava. So Olmec is still alive and well down here, which I guess explains... Oh, I just accidentally got the pixel stop. That's really funny. Yeah, we're going to drop him into the void. He's going to be a little less okay down here because if you recall correctly, anything, ghost, Olmec, whatever it is, if you go far enough into the void, you despawn. And that was actually the light for the level despawning when I went down there. That's why everything went black. So that's a pretty good way to end the custom level section. I'm going to pass it on back to Kirby, and we are going to see some really messed up stuff.
Oh, wonderful. I love really messed up things in Spelunky HD. This is my favorite. Alrighty, just let me know when I'm good to go. Wonderful. So we've got the pyramid dupe. Wow, first try. We've seen that before. You know, you collect the pyramid, you collect the 3 gold bars. I mean, what's not to love about it? Let's see. I think another thing worth covering is the render dupe. So if we go into this list of all the items in the level, and we manipulate some values real quick, definitely by doing completely normal things, and we spawn this pile of diamonds right here. This will be a little loud, my apologies. You can see a bunch of these diamonds at the end of the list. And so when we collect all the diamonds, it's very simple. We add the money to our score and we delete them all from the game. And I'm sure nothing stranger is going to happen. But instead, not all of them deleted. This is because the algorithm for deleting entities from the list quits it early. It's not the usual, like, silly bug where you skip over part of the items interleaved. It just leaves a big chunk at the end for next frame. So next frame, we collect these diamonds and we delete them again, and This could go on for more and more frames. There are various advanced score running things built around this. But, I mean, I think that's the highlights, really. Let me go back to 1-1. I didn't want to leave. I should like to spawn a friend. I think everyone needs a friend. I think that was quite awkward. You didn't see this. You did not see me fall for this arrow trap. So we're going to get an Ankh here, and a Freeze Ray here, and a friend here. And you remember how... You stupid... Alright, I said we're going to have an Ankh here. Please get over here. I'm begging you. Please come back. Please. I miss you. So, you remember how in co-op, when we held the other players, they weren't updating? And when Barbero was showing off mammoth strats, you can freeze people and they won't update their held items? This works for the hired hand, too. New fun technology, because we have multiple Ankhs. And, fun fact, if you get crushed, you get spawned at the start of the level with your held item and your hired hands, and they're all looking the way they should and holding the items they should. And now we've got even more Ankhs, and we could get crushed again. And it only gets more and more chaotic from here. I crashed the game on accident. My apologies. I will be restarting the game. That's kind of funny, actually. That one wasn't intentional.
All sorts of ways to crash this wonderful game.
Oh my gosh. This game, hired hands are kind of awkward. So anyways, if you get an absurd number of hired hands, you can just do, like, absolutely stupid things. Like, really, really stupid shenanigans. Because you can start reading and writing data from places where you shouldn't be able to. And so... Let's just show off some of the consequences of that. If we leave the level here, and we happen to, as we're leaving it, change various level flags. Where are the level flags at? Here they are. We could just select all of these. Selecting all of them would actually require, like, killing 4 billion magma men or whatever. It's a whole story. But you could theoretically do this completely vanilla if you had the patience. But you could select, like, most of them. I think Cloyce has done this in a real run and gotten, like, a mothership worm or something. So you noticed we spawned at the top. The exit was also at the top, because we're in the mothership, mind you. But we're in the worm, so that's why everything's, you know, awful around here. Actually, I don't know. I think you could say the mothership's awful. There's golden arrow traps about the place. That's because we're in the City of Gold, which spawns arrow traps, and it's made of gold, as you may recall. That's it's part of the name. You've not done this in a real run. Sorry, Cloyce. I am telling tales about you, even if they're not real. You have actually gotten this glitch to work in practice, though. Like you did the setup or something, and got some hybrid level. I mean, this is awful, but it's actually, like, kind of entrancing. I like it.
No, I've seen new speedrun strats. You're visiting the worm and the mothership in one level.
Yeah, if you've ever thought, you know, max percent's not interesting enough, try doing this. The exit is at the top of the level, so it's actually great for speedruns. As long as you don't mind spending, like, you know, an hour or two setting up the hired hands and probably years killing 4 billion magma men, but, you know, let's not worry about those. So, if we go seed 1, 2, 1, we could, if we're so interested, you know, spawn hired hands with items by killing 180 magma men and then using that as an item ID instead of a skin. And I promise it all makes sense. And we have to overwrite other data that won't crash the game. And it's stupid and complicated. But we could collect the tutorial journal in the regular game. And if you happen to crash the game on accident, again, sucks. That's kind of embarrassing. This didn't crash any of the times we did it in practice, but it is the curse tutorial, and it's known to crash.
Did GC recognizing the setup immediately?
GC is immediately recognizing this because at like 3 in the morning, I did this in a call with her. And it was kind of cursed because I did it in a dark level, which I think is a good place to do it. And immediately I saw a spike ball whooshing by me and snail bubbles going by. Oh, this is awful. I'm doing the exact same setup. What do I need? What do I need to make work? I'll just do it from a random seed?
We did it like several times and had no issues.
Even the later curse tutorials didn't have issues. All right, I'll try doing some random stuff in the level because the recent functions that were called affect the level generation of the curse tutorial because it's taking level data from the stack. Cursed fun fact for you. Oh, this is going to be the regular tutorial if I don't fix something. Getting to the regular tutorial is just less interesting. Alright, this is awful. I didn't expect this to just fail 3 times in a row. I would say it works much more often than not. Let's go to the temple, maybe. I think those are sometimes a little more stable. It's 1 in 5, by the way. Alright, here we are. So hey, we're in the temple, and it just gets you, like, garbage level data. Ooh! Is that a hole in the bedrock? What the hell? Oh, this is the Moai head spawn tile. So it's trying to write Moai graphics over there, but it's not succeeding because we're not in the ice caves. This is the tutorial, by the way. And if you have no enemies that happen to spawn, you might have no way to die and get soft locked. Sometimes it crashes. It never generates the same way twice, probably. I'm sure you could engineer it somehow if you were way more dedicated than I. But doing this, it's cursed because it was a very spooky experience the first time I was here. I think it's time to go to the regular tutorial. No, regular levels. Next classic thing to do is use hired hands to overwrite your current level. Currently, we're in 1-1, but if we open up Cheat Engine here, because I'm not about to spend half an hour managing hired hands and a gazillion onks to write data where I shouldn't, you get negative 57 hired hands, and you write the skin of a hired hand. The default one is 90, so you go to 23-2 is the easiest one to get to. And then you're in 23-2, which is great. You can also go to like 0-4 or 400-whatever, and you get teleported to the minus worlds. Technically, these are the positive worlds, and you can do this as long as you like. On multiple dailies, I've done like 1600 levels of minus worlds just to get to the point where the same level generated twice. That was the payoff of just all the hours of gameplay, was I wanted to see the same level generate twice in vanilla Spelunky.
Well, you're the only person who's done it now.
It's not very interesting out here, not gonna lie. You do have to turn the Pro HUD off after 99-4, otherwise it will crash. So I played most of the run with the classic HUD. But you know, that's it. I mean, the skeletons might be an enemy. If you have shopkeeper aggro going in, it could be dangerous. But I mean, mostly it's just cool to do it. Like, holy moly, you can just do this in Spelunky? And all you have to do is get negative 57 hired hands? A completely normal thing to want? Fantastic. Okay. All that is left is to spawn in a hired hand. I'm gonna make it skin 606, or 602, just to show that off. It doesn't actually do anything particularly interesting. And I don't think you can get it in a vanilla game. But it's my Steam profile picture. Look at this! Look at that! The Madeline hired hand. Also, she's holding an invisible item. And it's item number 170, and in 5 seconds it does this. It brings you to the credits. And that's all from me. I think we're done here. We made it to the credits. Thank you for watching No Shortcuts plus Yama. That's all.
Shortcuts plus Yama. Oh, this was fun. Lots of cool glitches.
There's a big video of doing a credits warp on my channel, but fair warning, half of it is just managing hired hands. And killing magma men to get to 170 kills. That's okay. Sorry about the time. We took up another 5 minutes.
There's some cursed
Well, the
stuff
shadow
in
state moving through the walls is new. We found that while preparing for this. Oh,
like,
you're
literally
muted
a couple
on
nights ago.
I was muted on stream. Good call, Kiwi.
Hey, look! It's the camels and the mummy in the same sprite sheet. It's just like Yama. Eggplant Yama. Yeah, the shadow state demonstration was like 20 minutes ago. You may have just missed it. It was the end of Babero's section.
When I entered the door over and over again and sort of went into the background. Yeah, I'm sure there's something cool you can do with that in a run. There's elevators in the mothership. And Spelunky runners get on figuring out what that's useful for.
Oh, the Ankh didn't crash. The credits. It only crashes in the boring part of the... or the less boring part of the credits. I didn't know that. I don't think there's a way to die out here. So, you know, it's like Skin 602 in that it's not vanilla. But in theory, everything else I showed you is. I mean, I've made it to World 23, I've made it to the credits warp. You could do a pretty wacky hybrid level, though the setup's a bit tricky, since you not only have to overwrite memory at the right time, but also time it to the time as you're walking out the door.
Alrighty. Well, if that is all, we can...
That is all. Best of luck
leave
with
it
your
there.
next segment.
Thank you so much for showing all of this off.
No problem. Thanks for having
Thanks
me.
for having us.
See you later.
See ya.